What's going on YouTube? I wanted to make a little bit of an introduction to 7 strings video because when I first saw a 7 string I had no idea what was going on with the 7 string. Is it an extra high one? Is it an extra low one? What do you even use it for? So I'm going to explain a little bit of kind of the tunings you can use it for and the applications. So if there's anyone out there kind of maybe interested in picking up a 7 string or just curious about why you would even use a 7 string, I'm hopefully going to shed some light on that today. Now I do want to say that 7 string guitars are not just for metal, because long before the creation of metal there were 7 string hollow body guitars and even 7 string classical nylon acoustic guitars that jazz musicians and classical guitarists would use the 7 string to kind of hit bass notes, and that's been going on before metal. So this one though, being a Schecter Demon 7, you know, active pickups, this one, yeah, is pretty much geared towards metal. But there are 7 string guitars that exist for other purposes as well. Alright, so just going over the tuning, it is an extra low string, and it is tuned to a B. That is the same as your 2nd string. So now we've got an extra B string. So we go E, B, G, D, A, E, B again. And yeah, you can even drop that down if you wanted to. Kind of if you were to tune a drop D, but now you're dropping the B to an A, so now we're in drop A. Alright, so you've got a 7th string now. What can you do with it, right? So one of the things that's easy to do is you could still do your regular power chord shapes. And of course you can also be that guy who just does single note riffing on a really low note so it sounds really thick and heavy. You can always do that. There's plenty of 7 string players that use it just for that. Other thing you can do is some type of extended range chords, utilizing the open B as a bass note. It could be like, stuff like that. And of course, if we tune down to drop A, then we could kind of treat it like drop D and start playing like this. And of course we can also have longer scale runs. So if I were to take this common pentatonic that everyone knows, with the 7th string we can also keep going, just do exactly what the 2nd string would do. So one of the things you might notice that we can't do on the 7th string is play our regular good old basic chord shapes in the first position. So this G shape doesn't really sound good there, nor the C. It gets kind of nasty in there because of what the 3rd string is tuned to. So, if you'll visualize this, when most people tune their guitars, they can tune them like this off the 5th fret, right? Then we get down to the 3rd string. You have to go down to the 4th fret because it's weird, right? So if we just treat the tuning like this high E is the extra string, and this low B is our 6th string. So essentially what we're going to do is tune it like this. So essentially what we just did is we dropped the 3rd string down a half step. And now what we can do is our extra regular, well in this case it's a D, but it's like that shape of a G chord that you're so used to. And you have that high E kind of just ringing in the background like beautifully. And we can do bar chords. So yeah, that one's pretty cool. All you gotta do is keep everything standard tuning and just take that 3rd string and drop it down a half step, and then you can play your regular shapes that you're all used to. Beyond that, I will say that the extended range of the 7th string is definitely beneficial and in some cases advantageous. One of the coolest things is that you can go from high notes to low notes without having to change tunings, because we could take a 6-string guitar and drop it down to drop B and we'll have like the same low notes and it'll be like really heavy. But one, you're going to need thicker gauge of strings because when they get that loose they're going to be all floppy, and you're also going to lose your high notes, your high range. So this allows us to go from low to high, high to low, and we don't have to actually change tunings. It's all kind of built in, which is really interesting. And I guess a potential drawback is the wider neck can maybe limit your mobility a bit at first, but you'll get used to it. You just got to keep playing it, and you'll get used to bending on it and wrapping your hand around it. It's not that big of a deal. So the other thing to watch out for is your strings are going to be like $1 more expensive because you're paying for an extra string. But other than that, oh, tones. Your guitar tones. When you get into really low notes, especially if you start dropping this to an A or even lower, maybe you take this whole thing, all these strings down a half step or down a whole step, and you're getting really low. So if you're doing that, you're going to just want to watch out for your amp settings, because as your notes get lower, things can easily get muddy. So you're going to want to make sure you watch out on the bass controls of your amp. You want to bring up the treble, maybe a little bit mid, to kind of help that 7th string cut through, because when it's really low, it kind of sometimes gets lost easily in the mix. Thanks so much for watching the video, guys. I hope you learned something new about 7th strings. If you have any more questions, leave them in the comment section below and I'll answer them. And leave a like and subscribe too. I'd really appreciate it, guys. I want to let you all know that my band Reasons Above All did just release their EP on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, everywhere. There's a link in the description for the YouTube channel. It's there, full stream. And we recorded the songs ourselves, and I was the one who mixed and mastered it. So please go check it out if you got a chance. It's rock music and all original, and we're really proud of what we came up with. So feel free to subscribe to that channel too. And I'll see you guys in the next video.